Hi, I'm Karen Carlson with Property Management Experts. This week's question is a tough one. It's also emotionally charged. What do I do when my tenant stops paying rent? What you do with your tenant when they stop paying rent, it can be very difficult because you're under a lot of pressure, and I understand that. You have a mortgage to pay, and if they're not paying the rent, you're getting frustrated. But the one thing you need to remember is it really needs to be done correctly. It is critical because you can get into a lot of trouble if you break the law. So the first things that I do that I recommend would be driving by the house. You want to see, are they still living there? And if they're still living there, you want to maybe go up, knock on the door, see if they answer. If for some reason they don't answer, put a 24-hour notice on the door or leave a memo and say, please contact me. What you're trying to do is make sure you can collect the rent. You want to start off kind of soft and nice because you don't know what's going on with them, and you want to make sure that maybe they just simply forgot. You don't want to create an enemy because this is like a marriage. It's not, you're going to have a long-term relationship with them. So sometimes you'll be able to, just by knocking on the door, be able to collect the rent and make sure that they understand that they have a lease and that they need to adhere to it. So the next thing is, if they don't answer, I would go back and I would draw up a 3-day notice. Now you can either do it yourself or you can hire an attorney. I find best to hire a professional attorney that specializes in evictions because they're going to do it correctly, make sure the dates are correct, the amounts are correct, and you're not putting a late fee on or 3-day notice fee or some other fee that can't be on it, because if you go to court with the wrong 3-day notice, that could mean it could get kicked out and you will have lost your eviction costs. So you want to make sure to do it correctly. So you have it served. You wait the appropriate 3-day notices. Now, you can't call during those 3 days. I know it's super difficult because you really are anxious to get that money to pay your mortgage, but you want to be able to follow the law. So after the 3 days are up, you call up your attorney and say, okay, it's time to start the unlawful detainer and the eviction. And so then they're going to go out and they're going to serve the unlawful detainer. Now, hopefully they can get a hold of and hand serve somebody, because if they don't, that could add an additional 10 to 15 days if they can't get, the process server can't get a hold of somebody at the door. So hopefully that won't happen. You'll be able just to serve it. Now they have 5 days to answer why they didn't pay their rent. Or if they don't answer, then you get an automatic default judgment, and then you can go straight to the judge. He'll sign it, and you'll go to the sheriff, and then 2 weeks later, hopefully the sheriff will get out there and actually evict him if that has to happen. That process could be 22 days to 30 days roughly, and that's if they don't answer the unlawful detainer. Now, if you have a tenant that knows the laws or has a specific reason, say there's a habitability issue with you didn't have the heater wasn't working and it was freezing outside and you chose not to fix it, or there was plumbing leaks or a roof leak, those are things that could inhibit you from getting your rent. So you must know the habitability laws if you're going to be in California. That is critical. And we can talk about that in next week's lesson. At this point, if they answer, your attorney would let you know, and then they'll assign a court date, and you will have to go to court. It can be tough and you'll be frustrated, but please don't contact your tenant during that time. Work with your attorney. They'll lead you in the right way to make sure that it's all above board and done correctly. You'll go to court. It's not too painful. Your attorney hopefully will do most of the work and ask you the questions. You just need to be prepared. Have all your documents in a row, your copy of your lease, any pictures, any correspondence that may have happened between you and the tenant. Hopefully you can work it out and you can have a settlement and you can agree. Either they leave or the owner, the judge will have to ask them to leave. So anyways, I hope this helped answer some questions, and feel free, you can always contact me for some advice about how to move forward.